Hi everyone, Tracy here. Today I'm going to share with you my coin envelope mini that I made with the Steampunk paper, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So let me show you. I already showed you the cover I made for it, and good thing I did because look at how thick this is. Like, it is right to the max, right full. I did a few little adding. I have to put this away because I keep adding to it. So on the front I added this little clock piece. This wasn't on before. And I embossed the butterfly, and I added this stick pin with some beads. I alcohol inked that. And then I added these charms. And when I was making this and getting everything together for this, I could not find any of the gear charms, so I made my own. And this here is Holtz Charms, and I just added some pattern paper to it. And then these here I cut out with I cut it out on Shrinky Dink or shrink plastic and embossed them with embossing powder and then heated them up. And I really like how they turned out. I'm kind of glad that I didn't see the Tim Holtz, or they didn't have the gears when I was looking for them before, because I wouldn't have come up with this idea. And I like to come up with different and fun ways to use all our supplies. Now, like I told you, I wanted the album to be attached to the box, and it is. So let me show you the completed mini. And this here is the front of it, or the front cover, and I just love this lady. Like, seriously, I love these papers. I am surprised because when I first saw some of the pages, like this leg, I was like, I don't know, but I really fell in love with them. The more I work with them, the more I love them. And I'm so happy that I only used one sheet of each. They came with 2 sheets. So let me show you what I did. I put some sparkle here, and then here are some more of the sprockets and that I made with the Shrinky Dink or shrink plastic. And this I stamped and shrunk that, and I love this lady. She is so pretty. And I took a clock apart because I couldn't find any of the stuff in the craft stores, and we had a clock that didn't work, so I took it apart. And the only thing is, a lot of the insides to clocks now are plastic. So these were black, and I think I might have alcohol inked them to give them a little bit more color. And then this is one of the flowers that I got from Kim. Thank you, Kim. And I put it in her hair. And I'll go to the next page. And this here is a pocket. And I cut the butterfly out of the paper, and I took the hands, the second hand from the clock for the butterfly's body and one of his antennae. And I didn't have another one, so I cut that out of foil, actually, aluminum cooking foil, and I alcohol inked that. And like I said, this is a pocket. And I am not a fussy cutter. I really do not like to fussy cut. And I fussy cut my butt off on this album, I'll tell you. I think we invented punches so we don't have to do that. But I wanted so many different images from this paper that I just kept cutting it up. And all my tags, all my bigger tags, are very similar. I glimmer misted them. I left the back blank because I'm not exactly sure who's getting this, but I have a feeling I might keep it because I really like it. And then I cut the images out and I backed them all on black paper. But see what I mean by fussy cutting? I'm not the best, but you can't tell. It looks pretty good to me. Good enough. And then I think most of you have seen the corset that I did, and I love the corset. And I drew this, which I'm also impressed with because I cannot draw to save my soul. So this was just a fluke. And what I did was I cut this out and then I backed it because I was going to make this as a pocket, not a page. I was just going to put a pocket. But when I cut the paper out without realizing it, look what it cut out. Ellen Terry corset. And it has little writing about it, and I thought, oh, I can't just waste that paper. That's like too much of a coincidence. So what I did was I pulled the papers apart because I didn't realize it until I glued the paper on. So I had to pull it apart, and then I slipped it in between another piece of paper here and made a little half page out of it. And then I just cut this little piece here out of the paper. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. And then this here, the lady, or the dress form with the wings, that's open too, so you can put a picture back here if you want. And then I used, this is just on a piece of packaging or a piece of acetate. I punched that out, or I stamped it, and then I punched it out, and I just put it on some of the pattern paper. And then these little hands here from the clock, I punched in, or I cut those out and colored them in with my markers, I guess. And I use the Shrinky Dink or the shrink plastic on that as well. And then here is a little ripped side pocket I made. And I didn't want too many, I didn't want a lot of ribbon and lace because of the papers. They don't call for that so much. So I just kind of used crochet cotton in a lot of this. And then here is another tag I made. And this here had wings on it, and I had to cut them off because the wings were way too big for this piece of paper. So I don't know if you can tell, but I did stamp some wings behind her. That's that. And then this page here, I just love this image of her. I just love how the smoke turns into her hair, and I don't know, I think that's so pretty. And then I used some of the stuff from the clock I took apart for the wheels. And then here I took these from the actual paper pack. The front of the packaging has all the pictures of the papers. So I wanted to save them because this shows you what it started out as. So I saved all those and just made them into little tags so I can look at them later if I want. And then here I cut the corset out and pop dotted that up. And then one of my favorite images of the lady with the gears in her hair, and I put a picture frame around her face. And then on this side, we have another little pocket here. And I just picked these up yesterday. Aren't they so pretty? I wonder if you can see the sparkle on them. And they're brown. Sometimes the camera doesn't always pick up what the colors, true colors are, but I really like that. And then here's another image from the paper pack. She's pretty. And then on to the next page. This was an envelope I had to cut down. It was really long, and I just cut that down and made it into a little mini envelope. And then again, these are from the paper pack on the front of the packaging. I cut them out so I can see them all. I just embossed it with clear embossing powders. And then here's my favorite lady again, and I just put this acetate, sorry about the glare, I just put this acetate piece on top because I like how it framed it out, and then this little decorative part here covers up the butterflies. I just thought that was neat. And then I added little pearls to her hair, just thought I'd pretty her up a little bit. And then I put a little paper clip here, and I just flip it up, and then I can open up the little book, and there's some, if I want to journal, and put a picture in there. And then this side here is the little file folder. And then open it up, and here's another tag. And I just, on some of them, the ones I didn't fussy cut around, I just cut them with some corner punches. And then the next page here, all the ladies, I punched those out, add little paper clips on them, and then put some tags behind here. And like I said, I didn't want it to be all feminine and frilly and that, so I just used some wire and twirled it up for the tags. And then this here, made a little pocket and put one of the stamps of the women on here, and then on the back I put one of our stamps on. I inked it. Ours is all white. I just inked it. I just thought that was kind of fun. And then again, put the wire on the tags. And the backs of these tags are pretty much all empty, like all plain, and I can add a picture on the back or put another piece of paper if I want to, a little bit of sparkle. And then this, I just stamped it, crunched it up, inked it up, and put on the back. And another tag of that pretty girl there. And then the second last page. Here are the hands that I got from that clock. And I have some tags in the back here. And like I said, the more I played with this paper, the more I liked it. And like this guy here just reminds me of like a crazy aunt or a crazy grandfather that's always experimenting and has 1,000,001 tales to tell you. So I wanted to keep that image full. And then here, This Time Flies. I thought it was perfect with the clock right beside it. Put a little tag in here. Then this is my rendition, I guess, of art journal. I'm not an art journal type of person, but I don't know why this just came to me as I was playing around. This piece here was a piece of chipboard left over from when I was cutting some out in my Cuttlebug. And this was just a piece to throw away, and I'm like, oh, these look like wings. And I thought of this guy right away, so I glued that on. First I painted the wings, and then I used the UT, and I don't know if I like it because every time you touch it, you can see your fingerprint, and I don't know if I like that. I don't know, it drives me crazy. So I don't know if I like playing with that UT, or I'm doing something wrong. This is the first time I ever used it. And then I put the bird cage, and I used lots of different I used a lot of different embossing powders, and I just sprinkled them all over the place to get the different colors. Then I put a key there, so it's like he's breaking out of his jail and flying. But like I said, I'm not an art journal person, so I don't know how that looks, but I kind of like it, so that's all that matters, right? And then my last tag here, and the backs just have the glimmer misted backs, and I can add journaling or picture or whatever I want to add to that, because yes, I think I'm keeping this. I worked so hard on it, and I love how it turned out. I'm really impressed with myself. Am I supposed to say that? I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I am. And I'm impressed that I never had to use this picture. Yay! So anyway, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed my album. Hi everyone, Tracy here. Today I'm going to share with you my coin envelope mini that I made with the Steampunk paper, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So let me show you. I already showed you the cover I made for it, and good thing I did, because look at how thick this is. Like, it is right to the max, right full. I did a few little I have to put this away because I keep adding to it. So on the front I added this little clock piece. This wasn't on before. And I embossed the butterfly, and I added this stick pin with some beads. I alcohol inked that. And then I added these charms. And when I was making this and getting everything together for this, I could not find any of the gear charms, so I made my own. And this here is Holtz Charms, and I just added some pattern paper to it. And then these here I cut out with I cut it out on Shrinky Dink or shrink plastic and embossed them with embossing powder, and then heated them up. And I really like how they turned out. I'm kind of glad that